Hey guys, how's it going? Good evening to you all and welcome to my Instagram channel where we discuss how to migrate to different countries across the world. It's your one and only Waka Waka Doctor here. Like always, please let me know if you can hear me clearly. Can someone just signify by a wave of hand so that I know that you can all hear me clearly? Yes, I greet you, Official Kene. Good evening. Awesome. So it means that you can all hear me. Yes, I'll be posting this video on YouTube as always. Like I always say, that I talk about migration to different countries across the world, and you can have access to that information on my different platforms. On Twitter, I post threads and tweets concerning different migration opportunities. On my YouTube channel, you will find videos on how you can move successfully to a lot of countries, and I have over 20 of them. And like I always do, I mention them. You have the Republic of Ireland, the United Kingdom, United States, Japan, China, South Korea, Tunisia, Poland. You have Georgia. You have Sweden, Norway, Finland, Australia. You have New Zealand. You have Germany. You have a whole lot of them. Those that will give you an opportunity to come in fully funded, and those that would give you 50% scholarships, those that require you to have a block account, those that don't require you to have block accounts. So you know that you can have access to that information on my YouTube channel. Turkey is hot. Well, but it's lovely. I will update you on everything about Turkey and Istanbul and everywhere I see on my Instagram page as usual. But today we're talking about moving to Lithuania. So when I post about different countries, under them I usually have people say, what about Lithuania? Why don't you talk about Lithuania? So I found someone who lives in Lithuania and has migrated successfully to Lithuania, lives there, works there, and would like to share his experience about moving to Lithuania. Okay. Again, I will post this video on my YouTube channel. I will also leave it here on my Instagram feed so that I can watch anytime. And like always, I try to answer as many questions as we can as possible. So if you leave your questions, we'll be answering them as it goes ahead. Okay. I'm gonna try and bring him on now so that we can do this. Just a minute. I'm just trying to bring him up, guys. Just hold on. Let me bring him up. Okay, guys, so I'm just waiting for him to join in. Just waiting for him to come in and join us. He was working today, so he was caught up at work, and so I'm just waiting for him. But while we wait, you can ask questions. You can ask me questions, and I will do my best to answer any questions while I wait for him to join in. Today, we're basically talking about moving to Lithuania. Okay, that's where we're moving to. So if you have any questions while we wait, just answer much. No, I don't appreciate some comments. The number of people here isn't as much compared to Twitter. No, this is where we want to host it. Okay, Twitter gets its own opportunities. here you get your own opportunities as well. This is video. Twitter doesn't support video; it only supports audio facilities. So everybody would eventually get the gist, of what we're trying to pass across. Yay! You applied for a school in Lithuania and you just got an admission. Awesome. That's good. That's good. You've not heard of Lithuania before. You're going to hear about Lithuania today. Don't worry. You would hear about Lithuania today. It's a country. Not a lot of people talk about it, but it's a country that exists. Please confirm if it's true they don't smile in Lithuania. Of course they smile in Lithuania. Yes, the smile in Lithuania. I'm just waiting on him to join in. He's running a bit late because of work, but just be patient. We're going to do this, okay? Yay, Adebi, you applied for admission in Lithuania, okay? Okay, and it's coming, isn't it? You're gonna get the admission. That's a promise, okay? That's a promise. Don't worry. I'm just waiting for my guest to come in so that we can start. Hi, William. Any opportunity for HND certificate holders in Lithuania? We'll find out in a minute. We're going to ask him that question, okay? Yes, they smile in Lithuania. Thanks for doing a lot of research about the country. Yes, the smile in Lithuania. Lithuania is a very peaceful place. You have blacks going there now. It's not a very popular country. Like, it's not a country that pops out to you. But it's a place that people are moving to now. It's not expensive to live in. It's not expensive to move to. And like I always say, someone like me, I prefer to be in a quiet environment where not everybody is coming to, that kind of thing. And wherever you move to doesn't have to necessarily be a place where you want to settle. It can just be a springboard to somewhere else. So even if you're going to Canada, there's nothing that stops you from taking a detour, to Lithuania or Poland, then go to Canada. Or you stop in Portugal and then go to Canada. Or if the United States or Australia is your final destination, there's nothing saying that, okay, you want to go to Tunisia first. At least you've left where you are. You've gone to Tunisia or South Korea. Then from there you go to New Zealand. You want to relocate with your wife and you don't want to study. Okay, so you don't want to study. Studying is the easiest route. The other way to get in is if you get a job. So if you get a job, that's the only way. If your wife is in Ukraine, that's a different proposition. You might have to send me a DM about that. Send me a DM about that and we will sort you out. Guys, I'm just still waiting for my guest. Just give me a minute waiting on my guest. Just want to be sure that they are not racist in nature. And is it an English-speaking country? No, it's not an English-speaking country, but you have people who speak English in there. Okay, you have people who racism it depends on you. Like for me, I think that there's racism everywhere. There's racism everywhere. Whether it's subtle or it's very, very obvious, but you're the one who knows what you're going out for, and you're the one who's going to decide how you want to navigate it. But there are English-speaking people in the country, so just waiting on my guest, okay? Possibilities for HND holders, we will talk about it. We will talk about it in a minute. My email, you can always send me an email. It's info@wakawakadoctor.com. 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 info Any jobs in Lithuania? Hey,
Sorry, man.
hello, Donald. How are you?
I'm alright. Sorry, I am running very late today, man.
Good evening. Good evening. Thanks
Good
for
evening.
joining in. Thanks for joining in.
Yeah.
We've been waiting and waiting to hear about this beautiful place you've told me about, Lithuania.
Yeah,
Um,
I had lots of inconveniences from work today, and it wasn't funny, man.
sorry about that, but we're glad you can join us, and
Yeah,
at least you're here.
yeah.
So tell us, the first time you approached me on Twitter, you said, why is everybody not talking about Lithuania? And I said, okay, you're in Lithuania,
Yeah.
come talk to us about it. So tell us about Lithuania briefly. What's this country, Lithuania?
Okay, so Lithuania it's an Eastern European country. Yeah, and that it's in the Baltic region and part of the EU as well. Yeah, but then Lithuania is a former Soviet Union, just like Soviet Union, like Russia. So a lot of people are quite skeptical about them. Yeah. So I said that Lithuania it's a pretty cool country. It's just not dominated with lots of blacks.
Okay.
The blacks that are here are mostly Cameroonians. I think they have some sort of advantage. Yeah, so Cameroonians have some sort of advantage more than Nigerians. Yes, I
Okay.
think they have this their secondary school education is way above Nigerian standard. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
have
so
most blacks in Lithuania are Cameroonians.
yeah, Cameroonians. You'd see
What's
more of
what's the
Cameroonians.
what's the weather like? What's the currency like?
The currency is euro. Euro is currency
The
we use
currency.
here. We don't use, yeah, it's
And you
euro.
said it's close to Russia, so it must be very cold.
It is cold actually. On right now we are in winter and we struggle between a we struggle between 12 to 16 degrees every day. We shuffle just like that. So
Wow,
it's
12 to
never
16
yeah,
degrees.
12 to 16 degree on a daily. It's never it's not consistent. It just goes like that. It can just
Okay,
start raining out of the blue. Like it's sunny, just in the afternoon it's sunny and boom, it's raining. So
I understand.
you always have to have your umbrellas in your backpack at every time because
I
you don't know
I'm
what's going
famil
to
I'm
happen.
familiar with that kind of weather.
Yeah.
As an African, how easy is it to get African food in Lithuania?
Uh okay, for Vilnius here there are about three known African stores. Yeah, two are owned by Cameroonians and one is owned by a Nigerian.
Awesome. So you
Yeah,
get stuck
so
with African food.
yes, yeah, you can get that, but for some people, like some people I've met, they're like they can't get everything they want here, so they can go to Finland, Poland, and you
Okay,
know, because
international travel.
yes, if you have a Lithuanian visa, it's a Schengen visa, so it's easy for you to just take a 12 hour trip to another place if
Yeah.
you have somebody around. And then, since it is not dominated by Nigerians, most people have families and friends in Germany, Poland, the more populous European countries than this place. So they have, so
Okay.
they can
Now,
always fall
you
back
moved.
to that place.
You moved. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You moved from what country? You moved from Nigeria?
Yeah, I moved from Nigeria.
How did you move to Lithuania? Why did you choose Lithuania of all countries? What formed your decision to move to Lithuania?
Okay, firstly, I was looking for a country. Firstly, one of the reasons was I was looking for a country where you do not have enough blacks, like a country where blacks are not dominated.
Okay.
Because I want to dominate the place myself, so you know.
Okay.
And then I was also looking for somewhere I can afford the fees because it's a self-sponsor kind of thing for me. So I was looking for somewhere I can easily pay the fees for myself, you know. So that's like
So how
the
did you do
reason.
it? How did you move?
I was via I it's just very easy. The schools are uh, quite uh, helpful. You know, when it comes to application, the schools are very helpful. Like they follow you up and they make sure you come and so you just go to the school website, go to the application for international students, apply, and then submit all of your documents, follow it through. They give you a response, ask you to bring the requirements you need to bring. So basically, for most schools, you do not need an English proficiency test.
So
For
no
most
need for
schools,
IELTS.
no, they don't. For most schools, they don't. And the one for some as well, they just need you to do a little test online. Like they just have to put you through a test themselves. You don't have to do a proficiency test. So they put you through the test themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, so if
How
you
can
get
how can people get the list of schools they can apply for?
it's really easy. Just Google the schools. It's really easy. The schools are there, like Googling schools in Lithuania, and then the school, and then you just see names of school. But one thing I want to add about making choices with the schools are the fees are dependent on the city.
Okay, the fees are dependent on the city, yeah?
Fees are dependent on the city. Yeah. So like for the capital here, you can for an undergraduate program, the fees are for like 2,800, right? But then
Okay.
in some other cities, you can see for as low as 1,600 to 1,800 for a session.
1,600 to 1,800.
600.
Wow. That's good. What documents are required? What documents do people need when
Um,
they're seeking admission to Lithuania?
Basically, if it's for an undergraduate, you just basically need your YX certificate. That's all. And then YX certificate, and then the sponsorship. They are really concerned about the sponsorship. They want to know that you can be able to sustain yourself while you're here. And then for the sponsorship, it does not have to be like your parents. It does not have to be. It can be your aunt. It can be your auntie. It can be yourself too. Like if you have above 4 million naira in your account, that's a
Mm.
proof to show that yeah you can self-sponsor yourself or yeah, so you're good to go. But whatever way, it should be nothing less than 4 million naira as a proof of capability to sponsor yourself.
Awesome. Awesome. That's
Yeah.
nice. Do you have scholarships or fully funded scholarships in Lithuania?
So the problem with scholarships is that they do not give scholarships unless you're already schooling. You have to be schooling on ground
Okay.
before you get a scholarship. You get the unless you are an EU resident or from America. It's either you're American or EU resident or you're schooling already in a school. So you get to be qualified for a scholarship when you're schooling.
But I
You can
mean, you're
apply.
saying you're saying based on what you're saying now, you're saying that with you can get tuition as low as 1,500. Is that it?
1,600, yes, you can.
That's about, let's say, 700,000, isn't it?
Yes, yes, you can. That's
Seven
about
hundred
700.
thousand naira.
Yes.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
it's it's cheap. Like I don't know why people. I don't know. I just don't know because things are really cheap here. I mean, aside having that kind of lesser fee, you spend about €6 on a monthly for buses.
Six euro.
Yeah, monthly as a student, you pay
Six.
just yeah, just six
Six.
euro, just €6 for a bus on a monthly.
€6. That's two
Just
thousand 400.
just €6 for bus.
3,000 naira on bus for a month.
On for a month, you pay just €6. Internet is
Wow.
as cheap as €14 for unlimited for the month. That is if you don't have a Wi-Fi in your apartment, but every apartment has a Wi-Fi. But you hold on to that
Wow.
because you just have to have internet while you leave the house because you have to check for buses that are going to your axis and stuff like that. You have to always wait for a bus. Like there are apps you have to use to know the next bus going to your direction. So you always have to have
Yeah.
internet on your phone. Yeah, so that's why you have to have internet. But
Can people walk while they study?
yeah, people can walk, but I always advise that you have to at least have a skill. You just have to have a skill, especially IT skills. I don't, the list of the IT skills are, it's an IT country, like it's an IT developing country. Yeah, so because when it comes to the local jobs, the cleaners, the other ones, they pay good. They pay from 500, 400 euro and all. But most of the times they require you to speak the language or Russian. You have
Mm.
to speak Russian, Lithuanian, or Poland, or Polish rather, for you to have
But I'm
most local
sure
jobs.
that for the local jobs, if you're gonna work while you're schooling, it's gonna be like the European working law where you can only do 10 hours every week as a student
Yeah,
and 20 hours if you're
for the undergraduate, it's 15, it's 20 hours a week for the undergraduate. But recently, I think it was 2 months ago, the law with a master's changed. So if you're a master's student, you can work full time.
wow, you can work full
Yeah,
time as a master's student.
yes. It used to be 40 hours, but now you can work full time as a master's student. Yeah,
Okay. Wow.
full
Okay.
time.
So, and you said scholarships. I mean, the tuition is quite low, so you might not really
It's
need
quite
scholarships.
low.
But
I mean,
yeah,
for me,
but
it's low.
you've stated that if you come into the country and you're schooling, you can still
You
get
can,
scholarships.
yes, you can
Okay,
get scholarships.
let me ask you something peculiar or that people will
Yeah.
be particularly interested about. Now, what's the pathway to getting permanent residence if you come in as a student?
Okay, so let's use a master student as an instance. Or okay, a master student, most master courses are uh 2 years. Okay.
Hmm.
So once you're done with the 2 years, if you have a job, as long as you have a job, you can stay.
Okay.
So you have to have a job to stay. And the way the country is it's organized is if you have a job, the immigration knows that you have a job. The immigration gives you some sort of document to back your job. Your employee goes to the immigration, makes some sort of arrangement for you to stay. So as long as you have a job, you can always stay as long as you have a job. But if you don't have a job, you would have to go like from the day
And
you from the
and
day you don't
how
have a
many
job, it's just
years?
15.
How many years will it take you before you get citizenship?
You can citizenship is 10 years, but permanent residence is 5 years.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
5 years for permanent
5 years
residence and
permanent residence, 6 years citizenship.
six
But the
years,
citizen 10 years rather.
10 years
But the
citizenship.
citizenship comes with some sort of exams, like to prove that you can at least speak, you have a knowledge of the language. Yeah.
And based on what you're saying that there are a lot of jobs available, especially tech
Yes.
jobs, isn't it?
IT jobs, I mean, IT jobs, you can see IT jobs that pay from developers, designers, you can earn from 1,005 to 6,000,
Okay. Okay.
depending on your experience. I mean,
Depending on your experience.
if you want to earn above 3,000, you would have to have at least 3 years of experience
Three
in an
years of
IT field.
experience.
3 years
Wow.
actually
Wow.
in an IT
3 years.
field. Yes, to earn
Wow.
above 3,000.
Now, people always ask. I mean, you've talked about the fact that undergraduates have an opportunity to come, masters, who have BSc. What about HNDs? People who have HNDs, can they apply?
Yes, you can. You can apply with an
Have you heard
HND.
though? We can apply with your HND.
Yes, I know somebody who is from Abia Poly. I know somebody who is from Nekede as well.
Bang, bang, bang. We are coming to Lithuania. We are coming to Lithuania. So you will not be the only black. You will not be the only black in Lithuania.
Well, it is crazy because I am in a neighborhood where I am the only black. Like you can imagine being it's a huge ass neighborhood and then you're the only black. So that's just the situation here.
Now, someone here is saying 10-year citizenship, God forbid. Let me just quickly explain to the person that in 5 years, you would have a permanent residency. And permanent residency in Lithuania gives you access to 24 other countries in the Schengen region. So you can travel freely among those, within those countries. So, and when you're in Europe, it's quite easy to get visas to everywhere in the world. It's very easy. So you don't be shouting, God forbid. That is it's your village
problem. You know,
it's a Nigerian blood.
If you have a Lithuanian visa, it's a Schengen visa. I mean, you have access to 26 countries. 26 while you're a student.
God forbid. That's village people.
Nah,
let's quickly answer some questions. Someone is asking you, can he come with his wife and his family? He wants to come along with his wife and his family. Is that possible?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know.
You've never seen anybody that came with their family before?
I know someone who has a wife and a child here, but he was here first, and then they came.
So he was here. He was here first. Then he brought his wife.
And he brought his wife. So, but then because we don't have too many Nigerians, so it is difficult to have a lot of people to ask questions because we don't have a lot. The most blacks, like I said, blacks here are Cameroonians, and they're actually really difficult to approach. So,
and the courses you're taught, they're usually in English, isn't it?
Yes. Most of you have it's a choice. You can choose English courses or you can choose English courses and decide to do the language as well, just to have an advantage. Because if you can speak the language, I mean, it's a huge advantage for you.
Someone is saying that the language is a turn off. You know, do you speak the language, or you've been surviving just with English?
I don't speak the language. I survive with English. See, the thing is, you have the newer generations. I mean, almost everybody from ages 40 below can speak English. Yeah, it is just difficult for the older generation. I mean, the 50s, they don't speak at all.
Donald, you know what I always say to people is that it is so easy to keep giving, and see, excuses are like shoes.
This is the thing with Nigerians.
If you keep finding your size, you will get it. So today it is either about the language. Tomorrow it is money. Now we are giving you an opportunity to say this is cheap. You cannot. How many countries do you really think speak English in the world?
All European countries don't speak English as their major languages.
Exactly.
All of them. All European countries have their languages.
The United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Canada.
I mean, Canada speaks French as well.
Canada
speaks French as well.
People don't actually know that there are not a lot of countries that speak English.
I don't know.
You cannot continue to use language as an excuse. You go. English is an international language, well known across the world. So don't be using it as an excuse. You would survive based on your English language.
You will survive. I mean, if you go to institutions like banks and the rest of it, they always have an English person on standby to help you with everything. Like no matter where you go to, you always have somewhere somehow you meet someone that speaks English. They keep people for you there. If you go to the immigration offices, if you go to, English is not their language, so you don't expect them to speak English all the time. These people have cultures. They have cultures, so you don't expect them to speak English all the time. So I don't know if people feel English is a barrier, then I really think the person is not serious.
The person is not serious.
The person is not serious because a lot of Nigerians are in Russia, and Russia is not even an English-speaking country, but Nigerians are surviving. China
Yeah,
as well, South Korea
exactly.
as well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't always say English
You will
is.
learn that language. Ni
I will
hao,
learn it. I mean, I really want to
you
learn
will
it
learn.
because I have a long time I plan. You know, I want to stay
Mm.
for long. So
Yeah,
I am learning it. I am learning it. I know hello is labas. Thank you is achu. So
you will keep learning.
I am learning. Like
Someone is saying that money you said in the bank statement. Did you say 4 million max or 4 million minimum?
4 million minimum.
4 million minimum. Okay.
You can
Um,
have as much as you want, but 4 million minimum.
if there's anybody who wants proof of funds, you can always send me a DM. I'm happy to help with proof of funds.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have anything you want to tell us? Somebody said that they heard you have to get a temp. For you to. Okay, I heard you have to get
Get a temporary resident permit
temporary
before you get
resident
a
permit
job.
before getting a job, and that
Yes.
takes 3 months. Is that true?
Yes, because that is how the country is. Your temporary resident permit is an ID card,
Is
right?
an ID card
You need the number you need the number to buy internet.
for everything? Yes, you need the
Yeah, so
number
you can
for health
someone
services.
cannot employ you without having your information. That's like your information, your data, your insurance. Everything is on that ID card. So it's really difficult to have someone employ you without that. And also, it's a process because when you get here, you come with a police character report from Nigeria. You have to send it to the Nigerian embassy in Ukraine,
Mm,
okay,
mm,
which takes about a month, say a month,
mm,
because you send it to the embassy, you pay €60 to the
mm.
embassy. Yeah, they send it back to you again just to show that you don't have any outstanding criminal record. So all of this takes time as
Mm,
well. And I have to
mm.
also add that you need an insurance. There's a process to get the permit. You need aside the sending the documents to Ukraine, you need insurance as well, which costs about 200 to €300.
Yeah, that's like 60,000 naira,
Yes, and you
right?
also need
Yeah, about 100,000 naira. Sorry.
yes. You also need a
Mm,
bank statement to apply for the permit because uh, for 2 years you have to have for 2 years you have to have $7,000, €7,000 to apply for a 2 years permit. You can apply for 2 years, you can apply for 1 year. It's
one
your
year.
choice. Everything is your choice. And also there are under the table jobs. It's not there is no law that you cannot be employed without that permit. There are under the table jobs. People can employ you. You can see the African restaurants if they have vacancies, they can employ you to work. Dishwasher jobs, molding jobs. That some sort of
It's
jobs
all
that
just to keep body
yeah
and soul together till you
yeah.
get the real
There are
thing.
some sorts of jobs that pay you cash. So if you
Mm,
get at hand jobs, if you get paid at hand, you don't need the permit. You can hold
mm,
on to that one until you get the permit. So
mm.
there is just no rule that says that. But for you to have a good job, like I mean, a well-paying job, because if you're paid in hand, you're paid lesser. Let's say
Mm.
the job is the pay is for €700. If you're paying by hand, the
Okay.
person is going to pay you 500 because the person is paying you in hand.
Yeah.
It is their right to remove a certain amount of money because it's in hand because it's
Okay.
illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Now
in court. It's illegal.
let me quickly just jump in and say, how can people reach you if they have questions to ask and they need directions on how to, get themselves to Lithuania, come join you and eat all your food? How can they reach you?
They can always reach me on Instagram or on Twitter. I would always answer to
What's
messages.
your handle? What's your handle?
At Makoji_Donald.
So guys, you can see him on Makoji_Donald,
Yeah,
Makoji_Donald on Instagram.
yeah.
And he would always answer your questions. What about on Twitter? How can they find you?
Twitter handle is I can't remember my Twitter handle.
Okay, guys, well, you can reach him
Yeah,
on
you can
Instagram.
reach me here.
It's
I want to
Makoji.
also add something
Yeah.
on people are really, when it comes to traveling, Nigerians always want to travel to countries where they know people, and you know I mean, you can survive in a country without knowing anybody. I did not know anyone here. I just
Mm.
came by myself. And then it happened that I came during the pandemic. I wasn't even picked from the airport.
Mm.
I wasn't picked. I just had to find my way. But then accommodations are quite cheap depending on the school. Most schools try to make accommodation easy for you, like 60 to 80 euro in the dormitory for a
Wow.
month. Utilities, everything included in the 60 to 80.
Wow.
As cheap as that. And
Okay.
then if you want to get
Yeah.
apartments for 400 and the rest of it. So it's all dependent on choices.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Donald. We've been here for about 30 minutes now.
I'm
It's been
sorry
good.
for being late.
No,
I'm
no,
really sorry for being late.
you've really helped us through this, and we're grateful.
Yeah.
Guys, that's been Donald. You can find him on Instagram, Makoji Donald, and he will answer your questions. You can find me on YouTube. I will leave this video on my feed. It will also be on my YouTube channel, and you can always ask me questions at any point in time. Thank you very much for joining. Your one and only Waka Waka Doctor. I'm going to talk to you guys later.
All right.
Bye.